Hi guys, welcome to my channel. This video is no way to throw shade at Shane Dawson. I have always loved Shane throughout his whole content. I remember the first video I watched of his was the Fred is dead video.
The only other thing to do is to get rid of him.
Why did you do that?
Motherfucker, why won't you die?
However, his Jake Paul series did end up raising a lot of questions, and I did find that he ended up diverting away from the original question of, is Jake a sociopath?
Or is he a sociopath? And I'm literally like walking into the lion's den.
So I'm going to be talking about a few of the things that Shane missed in his series when he was addressing that Jake was a sociopath or is a sociopath. I do want to point out real quick though that I do feel like he did this series based around the sociopath of Jake Paul because of the amount of backlash he initially got when he first says he was going to be doing a video on him. So I think he obviously was looking at what his audience would have wanted, because his audience is obviously completely different to Jake's audience. So that's why I feel like he initially did the series asking whether he's a sociopath, but it never really, I felt, fulfill that question. But I do feel like he got a huge amount of backlash from talking about sociopaths in a negative way, especially from his second video. So when he was talking to Katie Morton, they really shone sociopaths in a negative light, and yeah, this is definitely where he faced a lot of backlash because he would call them icky and gross, and yeah, that's like, I mean, it's a disorder, isn't it?
My heart.
It's really gross, I know.
So in this video I am going to be referring to a book called Confessions of a Sociopath. It is in fact written by someone that does have this personality disorder. The author really wanted to do this book because it shows how sociopaths aren't all negative people. And the author of this book actually states that she rather prefers to use the term sociopath than psychopath because psychopath has really negative connotations, and I feel like in Shane's series, Shane intertwined those two words, especially in the second episode, and yeah, I obviously do not agree with that because there are two different things. There is another book that I've read called The Psychopath Test, which I definitely recommend. It's one of my favourite books, but that tells you all about psychopaths, whereas what I'm going to be talking about in this video is sociopaths. Oh, also, when I was reading this book, at the beginning, one of the quotes is, if I would have been a YouTuber back then, I would have gone viral. So maybe Shane has actually read this book. So the first thing is when Shane says secretly set up cameras and pretend the camera wasn't rolling to essentially try and catch Jake out. The thing is with this, it wouldn't have worked anyway, even if he did put in footage that he secretly recorded, because sociopaths tend to adapt to the personality that is with them. The reason that the author does say this in the book is because sociopaths want to be liked and they want to be able to manipulate the person in front of them. So they do this by acting to the personality of who they are talking to, which was essentially adapting to Shane's personality.
I knew I had so many things in common with you. I just had this weird, like, gut feeling.
Okay, so I do have a conspiracy about this. I feel like he did actually end up recording parts off camera, but maybe Shane did actually realise that he was just acting the same way, and rather than just putting it out there to then get backlash, because obviously recording someone without them knowing is in fact illegal.
No, that's not, no, we can't do that. That would actually be wrong. We literally can't do that.
And maybe that's why he ended up filming in real time, because he ended up with less footage than he actually planned on having. I don't know, just my theory. So the second one is a trait of sociopathy, and that is being caught off guard when emotion is involved. So Shane did actually mention this in the series when he talks about how sociopaths are unable to express empathy. But I feel like after the second episode, he never really went through with looking at how he hasn't expressed empathy, but maybe he just wanted to leave that up to the viewer on deciding whether Jake can express empathy or not. But there was a specific part that really stood out for me. It was when Shane asked Jake about the YouTube plaque and why he has a second one, and Jake responds saying that it's for his second channel that was in fact stolen by Chance.
Wait, what's Jake called 2?
I had a second account. When Chance left Team 10, he like stole their account. Because Chance and Anthony had an account together, and like Chance left Team 10 and like switched the passwords and like stole the account. Anthony was like left without like anything, and so I just gave him my second account.
Maybe he did this so that he could get some sort of sympathy from the audience, or kind of make him look as if he is the good guy. He did end up actually getting backlash on this because Chance had tweeted out that he didn't steal the channel, and in fact the channel was stolen from him. So maybe Jake just said this quickly to somehow express an emotion, and it actually turned out to be a lie. Another huge part of this book is that the author talks about her huge interest in music, because this is a way that she is able to express emotion. Because obviously music does hold a lot of emotion, and when you listen to it, it can make you feel sad, happy, all of the emotions. If we look at Jake's YouTube career, he has made so many music videos. I mean, a whole part of his YouTube channel is based on the playlist of music. So this could be his way of showing emotion, and he's able to express it to other people when he's unable to do it, say, without music. But yeah, I did find that actually really interesting because he does do a lot of music, and yeah, maybe that's just his way of expressing his emotion. So the fourth point is his love with Alyssa versus the other one. I don't remember her name. What was she called? Oh, Jake's assistant.
Who? Erica? You made
Jake's
it
assistant?
Jake's assistant.
No, I'm joking. That's mean. Erica. So I thought that the differences between Alyssa and Erica were really interesting. So obviously you had Alyssa's part of the series. She talked about Jake in a really negative way, and she told Shane how he is really manipulative and he could be really aggressive, and their relationship was on and off all the time. She didn't know where she was at. So what is actually mentioned in the book is how she loves to play games when it comes to relationships. Definitely see this with Jake and Alyssa's relationship. She was obviously messed about. Well, to me, I would say that was definitely a toxic relationship. But then, does that mean all toxic relationships have sociopaths in them? Probably. So when Jake first got with Erica, her and Alyssa were apparently best friends. They did everything together. And obviously dating an ex's best friend is the hardest game to win. And he did actually, well, he obviously succeeded in that. So his whole basis with Erica could have really just been a game to him, and maybe he did end up falling in love with Erica, because a huge point of this book is that the author really wants to express how sociopaths can fall in love, because there is this common thing of sociopaths don't know how to express emotion, therefore they don't know what love is. A quote I actually found really fitting to Jake in this book was, "A sociopath will never put you above himself, but if you're worth it to him, he will readily put you above all others." Which Jake clearly does with Erica. Also, I found their love to be, no offence, but really fucking cringy. But as I said in the first point, sociopaths are basically acting to what is in front of them, or what they're supposed to be acting in that certain situation. But I think maybe Jake is actually just mimicking what he thinks love is, because this is the sort of love I found is shown in films, touchy-feely all the time. Or maybe he is actually just a really cute boyfriend, but no, not for me. So the final point is the nature versus nurture aspect of sociopaths. There are so many arguments to this, especially addressed in this book. Even the author isn't really sure, but I think it's because it's unethical to study a child sociopath, so they only really have the evidence from adult sociopaths. I'm pretty sure you have to be over a certain age to be officially diagnosed as a sociopath, so maybe this is why we don't know whether it comes from the nature or the nurture. Shane does actually express the point of nurture because he's talking about his close family, like his dad, his mum and his brother Logan Paul. So Shane basically says that Jake probably got his traits from his dad specifically and maybe his brother as well. What I actually found really interesting in this book is that the author actually says, I believe that sociopathic traits can be managed and even changed via early childhood, which is really intertwining between both nature and nurture. So maybe Jake was born with these traits and they were present greatly through his dad when he was younger, and maybe also he inherited this from his dad as well as learned how to manage his tendencies from his dad as well. And I do want to emphasise that he has managed these sociopathic traits because he is using them amazingly. He has managed to build a huge platform for himself. Maybe he does try to manipulate his subscribers by selling them merchandise, but to him that is him managing it really well because he's the one in power and he does end up getting what he wants really, which is money. So yeah, if he is a sociopath, he's definitely, I would say, used it to his advantage because he is really successful, opposed to sort of the sociopath that Shane was trying to get across initially, of him maybe being some sort of criminal and just in all a really negative person. And this book finishes on an amazing quote, which I also want to finish this video on, and that is, we wouldn't want to train all of the sociopath out of them because sociopaths are interesting people who make our world more diverse, colourful place in ways that we can't predict. Obviously, without them, Shane wouldn't have been able to make this series and base it around Jake being a sociopath, even though he didn't, I say, fulfill that question, but maybe that's what Shane wanted. He wanted people to be more open-minded and maybe try and think whether Jake is a sociopath or not. I don't know, what do you guys think? Is Jake a sociopath or isn't he? Let me know down in the comment section below. I really hope you enjoyed that video. Please hit that subscribe button and give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you next time.